We're gonna do a no makeup update because mom life. Look at how big she is. Hi, baby. Yeah. You big girl. You're a big girl. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and give you an update. The last 3 weeks, I've kind of been not feeling great, but I have been doing an AIP diet. It's autoimmune protocol, and so basically it's an elimination diet where you get rid of anything fun. So like no coffee, no added sugar, no nightshade vegetables, so like potatoes, tomatoes, peppers. Oh yeah, no dairy, no grains, no rice, seeds, anything like that. Basically the point of this elimination diet is to figure out what is causing inflammation in your body. And for someone like me who has ulcerative colitis, it is something that still affects me to this day. And I know you're probably thinking like, I thought you got an ileostomy bag. How do you still have ulcerative colitis symptoms? So I was doing this elimination diet because I wanted to see if it would actually help that little flaring in my rectal stump. And unfortunately, it actually made it worse. And I don't know if it was that was making it worse, or like taking all that stuff away made my body like freak out and be like, what the heck? I've been putting off filming this because I wanted to have it be like a quiet background, but my grandma is back in Minnesota now, so this is just mom life, and you're gonna get me real and raw like this. I don't know if it was my body freaking out about like getting rid of so much stuff, because the things that I could have on this diet are meat, fruits, and then most vegetables. So none of those nightshade ones, like I said before, potatoes, tomatoes, and peppers, could not have. So I went on Pinterest and I really looked up different recipes to see how I could still eat flavorful food and not feel like I was totally missing out. And I just felt like it was so depriving. And honestly, I stuck with it for 3 weeks. You're supposed to do it for at least 3 weeks. They do say if you're still having problems to do it longer. And then once you are not having any autoimmune problems anymore, like a flare is what I call when my ulcerative colitis is bleeding and acting up. But I've been in a flare for about 1.5 years. So ever since I got pregnant, I've basically just been in a flare, but it just got really, really bad, like a lot worse. I'd say in the last 3 weeks to a month, it's horrendous, to the point of where, like, I know when I don't feel good, I cry. And I was like crying a lot this month because it was like nothing, it didn't matter what I ate or drank, anything, it seemed to flare me. So like, let me back up too. So the diet is intended to be an elimination period for 3 weeks or however long you need it to be. And then you slowly reintroduce different foods and you see how your body reacts. If you don't have any sort of reaction to it, you can add that back into your normal food eating. So it's not meant to be a forever thing to like eliminate all that stuff. It's just meant to help you find what things your body can tolerate so that you just avoid the things that your body can't tolerate, and then hopefully you'd feel better. I think that hormones have a big reason behind why my body is flaring. So when I got pregnant, I was told either my ulcerative colitis is gonna go away, not go away, but like be in remission, so I wouldn't have any flaring in that little rectal stump, or it could get worse. And for me, it got worse, but it was mostly managed by my suppository. So I was like, cool, that's fine. The way that my body is flaring reminds me a lot of how I felt right before my last surgery. I tried everything under the sun for holistic remedies to try to like heal my ulcerative colitis before I had surgery, among doing all of the like medical therapy stuff. And I just feel like for some people that works great. For some people, the only really fix for it is to remove it. And I just feel like if I have that right at the tip of my fingers, to be able to remove the body part that just keeps getting worse and worse over time, why wouldn't I do that? And I know like, oh, to avoid surgery, duh. But I've really come to this point of being accepting of it finally. Like before, when I had my first surgery, they had left that rectal stump, even though I knew that I had ulcerative colitis in that area, they left it there in case I wanted to ever do a J pouch. And I knew back at that time that I was pretty set on having a permanent ileostomy bag eventually. And to make it permanent means that you remove that rectal stump. And the reason for removing that is because the longer that I have it, the higher risk of colon cancer that I have. So especially with active disease in there. I couldn't find a GI doctor that I really liked down here in Texas. Whoops-a-daisy. You silly. So I just feel like if I find the right doctor, then I would be ready to, you know, go forward with all of this. And I really feel like timing is everything. Fate is a big part of it. And then just kind of going through the whole process of like accepting that that would be part of my future. I always said, even back when, after I got my first surgery, I knew that I wanted to eventually have the Barbie butt surgery. Seeing some people's recovery process take up to a year really scared me. And I know the majority, it takes about 12 weeks or so to heal. If you've had the Barbie butt surgery, please tell me your experience with your recovery down below, because I'm feeling like it's my time to have that surgery, and it's time to accept it, you know? I know that when people offer advice on try this, try that, like I get it, like people are trying to help, and I just kind of feel like I've tried different things and I'm tired, you know? I'm tired of flaring. I'm tired of feeling like this every day, and I have a baby to raise, you know? So I'm like, I need to be in the best health for myself to be able to be a good example for her and also be healthy for her. I think a lot of times people see me and they're like, oh, you must feel great though because you're happy. And I am happy most of the time, but they don't see the 24/7, you know what I mean? When I feel like my battery life, my personal battery life is down to a 3% by 5 p.m. and we still have the whole evening to go with like cooking dinner. You're a cute ham. You're just a cute ham. Whoa! You want to sit? Oh, you want to come towards me? Ooh, there you go. Good job. Yeah. Well, the side that people don't really see is that when I'm feeling so terrible, it's the side of ulcerative colitis that's hard to catch on camera because it's real. Not that you want to see that, but like, you know what I mean? I'm showing you the highlight reel. I'm showing you the good side, and it's darn near impossible to catch the moment or what it really feels like when you have ulcerative colitis and it's flaring. Think of it as like if you've ever had the worst case of diarrhea and you're like, I need a bathroom right now. That is the feeling that we go through with ulcerative colitis flares, and it lasts a long time. In my case, since I have the rectal stump, I do still have like mucus and blood that comes out of there, and it is still painful. So it feels like raw, stabbing, terrible. I mean, it's just not fun. You're so cute. Yay. So I just wanted to update you as to where I've been, but the last 3 weeks I have just been in survival mode. Now, going off of this elimination diet, I have found that my preferences have changed. So before I was like a huge sweet person, like sugar and everything, you know what I mean? But now I feel like I'm getting that sweetness from fruit. So I know it did do some good for me, but I think for myself and my journey in life here, the purpose of doing this elimination diet was to really wake up my brain and say like, hey, you're not okay. You need to talk about the potential of surgery. So my plan is I am meeting with a colon and rectal specialist next month, hopefully. I mean, I'm calling them next month because our new insurance starts. So I'll call them, get on the schedule, hopefully for that same month, but who knows. And then we'll do a flexible sigmoidoscopy, see what's really going on in there, and then come up with a plan. I am hesitant to go back on prednisone or anything because I just had such a bad experience with like side effects, and I still deal with side effects to this day after being on prednisone for about 2.5 years in a row, right before I had surgery 4.5 years ago. So I don't really want to put my body through that anymore. But I don't know. You might be you might be watching this and shaking your head and you're like, why wouldn't you do XYZ for yourself? But that's why we all have our own journeys, right? So anyway, I come here to say I'm finally feeling like I have a little more energy, so I had more energy to actually film for you guys. I'm still not anywhere near what I normally was, and I just have to accept that this is my new normal for a while, being very fatigued and just trying to get through the day and keep her alive. I'm really bummed because I canceled my Mommy and Me workout membership because I don't even have the energy to get through the day-to-day, so putting myself through those workouts would just wipe me out for the entire day. And like, they were great, and I love having the community of the moms, but it's like one of those things where I'm like, I tried it once in August, I think, or maybe twice, and I'm like, I can't for me right now. Hopefully, you know, in the future I'll be able to join it again, because it was really, really fun and so good for me, mind and body. I feel like I have to pick and choose what I spend my energy on. I hope this video makes sense because we kind of been all over the place. I don't even know. I feel like I have a quarter of a brain now, because I typically had about half a brain, and now it's even worse with feeling so deprived of everything. I also wanted to say too that the big reason why I didn't have surgery to remove my rectum like earlier, you know, closer to when I had my first surgery, is because I was worried that it would affect my fertility and that I wouldn't be able to get pregnant someday, and having babies was such an important thing for me. So I wanted to wait until after I was done having kids to finally have that surgery. We've kind of decided, you know, if we end up with just having one, at least she's happy and healthy, and I'm so grateful that I got to have that experience of pregnancy and birth and all of that, and that I was able to do it with an ileostomy bag. So yeah, I think the hardest thing, or the thing that I'm most nervous about, is what recovery looks like after this kind of surgery. Got to look at the long term and tell myself that like doing this will help me feel better in the long run. As always, thank you so much for watching, and be sure to like and subscribe. Say bye. She's ready for a nap, as am I. All right, bye.